Hey everyone, welcome to Cloud by Veer YouTube channel, and in this specific video we are going to talk about a very important AWS service which is known as AWS Trusted Advisor. We are going to talk about how exactly this Trusted Advisor can help different organizations via providing such kind of facilities to the different organizations so that they can improve their cloud environment, they can improve their cloud infrastructure, and they can have an eye on the potential. We can say that the different security aspects, they can improve the security, they can improve the performance of their infrastructure, and using AWS Cloud Trusted Advisor, they can reduce the cost in their infrastructure as well. So if as an organization or maybe as an individual, if you're running an infrastructure on AWS cloud, you must use AWS Trusted Advisor service provided by Amazon Web Services. So some points I have written to understand more about this service, in which the first point says that AWS Trusted Advisor is basically a cloud service, right? So there is no need to manage the infrastructure by an organization or by an individual, as it is a cloud service provided by the cloud provider, which is Amazon Web Services, and which basically provides you the real-time advice for improving your AWS setup. How exactly it provides, we are going to see in just couple of seconds, in couple of minutes, that how exactly we can set up this AWS Trusted Advisor and how we can take advantage of it. So basically what happens exactly that it will check for your resources and settings against AWS best practices. So maybe if you are creating some resource in the AWS cloud, whether using AWS Management Console or CLI or SDKs, and if we are not following the best practices via when you are creating those resources, just an example, in our case, in today's this specific demonstration, we are going to create different security groups and different AWS S3 buckets in which we will not be following the best practices. And but how exactly that will happen, that suppose if you're creating an S3 bucket and if you're making the objects of S3 bucket and the accessibility of S3 bucket publicly available, that is not a best practice, right? Same can happen that if you are creating some users in your organization and you are providing administrator access to each and every user, that will not be a best practice. So exactly this trusted advisor will check your AWS infrastructure or the resources, and it will recommend you that how exactly you can improve the security performance and how I can exactly you can reduce the cost of your AWS infrastructure, right? So it will help organizations to cover the areas like cost optimization, performance of the infrastructure, to have a better security of the infrastructure. It will help in fault tolerances and service limits as well. So it will basically continuously monitor your AWS environment for the different issues which are happening in your infrastructure, and it will able to help you to improve the different opportunities in your AWS infrastructure, right? It can also integrate it with the simple notification service so that it will continuously send you alerts and proactive notifications about your infrastructure health, that if your infrastructure is running smoothly or not, and it can provide some personalized recommendations as well, that what exactly when the issue founded by AWS Trusted Advisor, it can also recommend you some performance optimization options as well, that how exactly you can use to improve your AWS resources and the settings of your AWS resources. So this is a little bit introduction about AWS Trusted Advisor. Now we'll directly move towards the AWS Management Console, and we'll see how we can use and take advantage of AWS Trusted Advisor. So you in the search bar, you just need to search for TRUST Trusted Advisor. Over here, you can see if we click on that, and it will open the dashboard of the Trusted Advisor service. Over here, you can see that as of now, there is zero actions recommended, zero investigations recommended, and zero checks with excluded items as well. Right now, in my AWS infrastructure, if I am running an infrastructure on this AWS account, then there is no action required from the trusted advisor recommendations, right? And whatever the insights provided by the trusted advisor, you can download all the checks as well in your local system as well, right? But some recommended actions it is providing us, that you can upgrade your AWS support plan to get all the trusted advisor checks. You can upgrade that if you want, otherwise you can leave it as default, no issues in that. Okay, so this is just an overview of the AWS Trusted Advisor, which is the one-stop solution to manage all the AWS services at best practices, and it basically provides recommendations using including cost optimization, security, and it will basically help organizations so that they can optimize their resources and the services which are running on the AWS cloud, right? How exactly it works, we have already discussed how exactly it works. What are the benefits, we have already discussed in terms of the performance, security, cost optimization, fault tolerance. All these things you can get by the AWS Trusted Advisor. Now, what exactly we are going to do is that the first task we are going to perform is that first we will move towards the VPC section, and second we will be moved towards the Amazon S3 section. Now, what exactly we need to perform over in the VPC section over here? If you just a little bit scroll down over in the security section, we have the option of security groups. Now, what exactly a security group is? Security group is a virtual firewall basically, which protects your EC2 instances. So it's a firewall which you can manage or which you can configure on the level of your EC2 instances, which is nothing but the virtual machines inside Amazon Web Services to run your applications or to host your applications or to run your databases workloads. So for the different tasks, you create these virtual machines, and to protect those virtual machines from the unintended accesses from the internet or from a specific user or from a specific port or from the internet, you can create different security groups, and inside those security groups we have the option of inbound rules, in which you can define the rules that who exactly can access or what type of request can go to your EC2 instance. So in the security group, the outbound rules are by default that whoever is able to access your EC2 instance will automatically be able to go outside from your EC2 instance, right? So let me just provide name to the security group as security group one, because we are going to create two security groups, not one. What should be description is that SG for trusted advisor default PPC, and we are going to add tool as SSH, and we are going to open the internet port as well, right? So what will happen that from internet anyone will be able to SSH inside our EC2 instance. That is not a best practice basically, right? So don't do that. Let's me just click on this create security group. Now your security group has been created. You can see over here. Now we will again go to the security group section and we'll create another security group. This time we'll give name as second security group, and let me just give description as SG for trusted advisor. And in the same, we will be following the same step as SSH, and will open for the internet and will create this security group. What exactly we have done? We have created two security groups in which we have given the unrestricted access of SSH to the EC2 instances to which the security group is we are going to attach. Then everyone will able to SSH inside the EC2 instance, which is not a best practice. Fine. We know that this is not a best practice, as we are going to check the AWS Trusted Advisor that if it will give us some recommendations to improve this specific resource which we have created using unrestricted access we have given to the security groups. Second task we will perform that we create two buckets over here, simple storage service buckets over here. But exactly is that, those who don't know about this bucket is nothing but a type of a container. In our houses as well, we have multiple types of containers. In our kitchen, we have different containers. For wheat we have, for sugar we have, for vegetables we have different containers, right? And whatever type of utensils we have or the containers we have, we can put any type of uh, like any type of objects inside that. Same, if you want to store your data in the AWS Management Console Cloud, you can use Amazon S3 service, in which you can create a bucket which is nothing but a container, and inside that you're going to upload whatever type of data you have or any amount of data you have, right? But there are some limitations as well. As you're using AWS Management Console, there are some limitations. If you're using AWS CLI, then you can upload more, like more storage of the data basically. So as of now, we are using AWS Management Console because of this demonstration purpose. If you have very big file, like the limit is you can upload five up to 5 terabytes of one object basically, but you can upload n number of objects inside simple storage service, but not using AWS Management Console. There is a limit which is around 160 or 1 gigabit something. I am not sure about it, but if you have an object which is more than 5 terabytes, you can use AWS CLI for that. Okay. So let me just give name. Name should be globally unique for the S3 bucket. So we are giving name as Trusted Advisor Bucket 1. Let me copy this name. Then we are going to open the public access for this bucket, which is not a best practice. And we'll just click on this create bucket option over here. Now the bucket has been created. If you click on this bucket, you can see the properties of this bucket, the resource name of the bucket, and you can go to the permission section. And let's provide internet access to this bucket using bucket policy as well. So I have already written a bucket policy in my local system. I'm going to use that bucket policy, and inside that bucket policy, I'm just going to change the name of my bucket over here. So you need to change this space with your bucket ARN. This is your bucket ARN. Copy this bucket ARN from here, and let's just paste over here. Now you can see that cross sign has been removed automatically, which means there is no issue in this specific bucket policy. But exactly this policy says that anyone from the internet is allowed to get objects from this S3 bucket, which is not a best practice basically. You cannot do that, right? Let me just go to the bucket again, and let's create one more bucket with the same configurations. This is Trusted Advisor bucket 2. I'm also going to again turn on the public access, and let me just go to the create bucket section. Once the bucket is created, let's go to the permission section again, and let's just use the same policy for providing the public access to the objects of this bucket. We know that this is not a good practice, but just for the sake of this demonstration, we are doing this. Now we have created two S3 buckets, and we have made those bucket publicly available, and we have created two security groups with unrestricted access to for the SSS to the inside the EC2 instances. Now we'll again move towards the trusted advisor over here, and we'll click on go to trusted advisor over here. And now just refresh all the checks over here, and let's see what type of recommendations it will provide to us. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Let me just go to the security section over here. Okay, in this AWS S3 bucket permissions, you can see two of three buckets have permissions properties that grant global access, right? If you open this, it will give you a yellow sign for the bucket policy, red sign for the bucket ACLs, which are allowed everyone to upload objects inside your S3 bucket, right? These are the recommended actions it has providing, that how exactly you can solve this problem. And these are the different two buckets which we have created so far. On this, two of the three buckets have permission properties that grant global access. So now, as an organization, you have seen this inside Trusted Advisor that, okay, this is the issue which is happening, that two buckets have the public access. So we can go to the bucket policies again, and we can configure these buckets in such a way that we can restrict the public access to these buckets. Basically, you can check. Now, security groups, let me just use this. Two yellow signs we are seeing and one red sign we are seeing over here, that security group is attached to a resource which provides unrestricted access to all these open ports available. So it is showing us the different security groups in which it is providing us the recommendations that you cannot use or you cannot open those permissions to the different security groups. You can see this is the second security group which is available, which we have opened the SSH port for everyone. And where is that second security group? This is the security group one. Also, you can see that as well over here. So it is providing us all the recommendations based on the different resources we have created inside our AWS account, so that it is basically providing recommendations. You can see over here two actions recommended, which are related to the security of your infrastructure. One investigation recommended, which is also related to your security. If you click on that, it will give you that S3 bucket permissions have some issue. You can check that. And if you again check for the action recommended, if you click on the security, that first, that you have not activated the multi-factor authentication on your root account. Second, the security group specific ports unrestricted that we have provided. So I hope that you are seeing that how beautiful this service is, that if you are having any kind of issues in your AWS account resources which you have created, you can have a very great actionable insights inside your AWS resources using AWS Trusted Advisor, right? So how beautiful this service is, and I hope that everything is clear to all of you, that if you're creating anything in your AWS account and if you are not providing the best practices and if you're not following the best practices, this AWS Trusted Advisor will continuously monitor your AWS infrastructure in your AWS management console in your account, and it will provide you the actionable insights to follow, so that you can follow the best practices using which are given in the AWS well architected framework as well, to run smooth infrastructure inside AWS management console. So I hope this video gives you an insight in the AWS Trusted Advisor service. If you like the video, just hit the like button and just comment out if you have any suggestions, or if you want to say something, you comment it out. And we'll see in the next video. We'll meet and we'll see a next topic, whatever will be the topic of the next AWS service we'll have. And you can comment out what type of service you want to learn, any service you are facing, any challenges related to any specific AWS service. I will try to create a practical video like this for that specific service as well. Thank you so much for watching my video. My name is Virender. I am a senior consultant. I have more than 10 years of experience in the AWS industry. Thank you so much for watching my video. Take care. Bye bye.